Joining me today is Ray Buckley, who's the chair of the New Hampshire Democratic Party. Ray, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I got so many things I want to talk to you about, and I don't know where to start. But let's start sort of macro U.S. sort of politics. What are the lessons that you learned from the last election on a political level, and how do you translate those lessons, or how do you think the party will translate those elections moving forward?
Well, I think that a lot of lessons should have been learned from 2016. The last 8 years have not been good for the Democratic Party in regards to winning elections on the local level, the state level, and even on the federal level. I believe firmly that if we had continued Howard Dean's 50-state strategy, where prior to 2008 and back, each state party was receiving approximately about $250,000 worth of financial support to hire staff, to organize, to be part of getting the message out. So it could be communication staff, could be organizing staff. What that did was it wasn't just like you were organizing to get out the vote, but you were able to create a long-term, sustained relationship with the communities, and then get the communities to then have relationship with each other in the sense of the voters talking to other voters. That's what we do here in New Hampshire, and that's why Democrats in New Hampshire, while turnout was lower in 2014 than 2010, not in New Hampshire. Nationwide, it was the complete opposite. We were the #1 state for increase of Democratic turnout in 2014 and again in 2016. And it's because that we've heavily invested and really worked with empowering our local grassroots. Once the funding of the DNC went away, and it got boiled down to about 60,000 a year on an average year, those sort of programs and services left most state parties. I am absolutely convinced that if we continue that sort of program in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, Michigan, and so many other states that were very close, that we would have been able to actually have a serious impact. Because it's not, as I said, it's not just about the actual get out the vote in the closing weeks. It's about developing that relationship months ahead of time. What you hear from the people in the Rust Belt particularly is that they didn't believe anyone was listening to them. When you create a local organization that's actually out there talking, so it's your neighbor going in door to door, we had the most extensive grassroots operation and voter contact in any state for the same population-wise. Nobody knocked on more doors or made more phone calls or had more actual voter contacts. That's why, despite in many of our sister states that are battleground states, Democrats did not do very well. But Hillary Clinton was able to win here. We were the only battleground state to defeat an incumbent Republican for the U.S. Senate. We picked up a congressional seat. We gained 15 seats in the New Hampshire House. So we did that not because we're bluer than they are. In fact, we're more purple than most of them are. But we did that because of the relationships that we're developing on the town-by-town local level.
So in 2008, the strategy was to go away from a 50-state effort, is what I heard. What was it toward? Was it toward picking for the presidential elections? Why would the party move away from the 50-state? I mean, what's the underlying? There had to be another strategy there. I guess that's what I'm asking from a historical perspective.
Well, I think that if you look back at the 2008 presidential nominating contest, that Hillary was the more of the establishment, or be considered more of the establishment candidate, and then Senator Obama was the outsider. And so when you are victorious in winning the White House, you have control of the Democratic National Party's apparatus. And the folks that had been successful in 08 had done it by working around the party. So they did not see the investment of the party being something that would be worthwhile. We're now looking, as we see President Obama's phenomenally successful and an important agenda being attacked daily. If we had invested in those local communities, if we had invested in those state parties, and that we had more Democrats in the U.S. Senate and in Congress, in governorships, and the legislatures, and mayors, and whatnot, the firewall against the attack, even if Donald Trump had been victorious, that we still would have been able to be much in a stronger position to defend the healthcare law and so much more.
So we got about 30 seconds left. Will the Democratic Party move back toward a 50-state strategy?
That is certainly the commitment of Tom Perez, and it was, in fact, all of the candidates for DNC chair were very articulate about making sure that state parties have significantly more support. I was part of a meeting just 2 weeks ago in Washington that it looks like it's going to be a significant investment.
Okay, well, we're out of time in this segment. When we return, we're going to continue our conversation focusing on the biennium election, so please stay with us.